Hello and welcome to my in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 20th of December for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you the major strands of this week before diving deep and in forensic detail giving you each of the 12 zodiac sign forecasts, so please stay with me for that. This week is going to see the Sun arrive in the sign of Capricorn on Tuesday, but this also heralds the winter solstice. So we're entering the fourth quadrant of the Western tropical astrological year, so the last 13 weeks run. So this is a really notable transition. The sign of Capricorn is very much to do with structures, it's to do with the more traditional features of life. It can be an area that we have a focus on goals and ambitions, and therefore to do with our professional interactions, but not exclusively. Of course, the sign of Capricorn is Earth, and it is cardinal, so it's very much a sign of leadership. So the free-spirited energy of Sagittarius makes way for the more somber vibe of Capricorn, but we still have Mars in Sagittarius, which is a very adventurous combination. And in fact, by the end of this week, Mars is forging a super link with Saturn. So when we get the energy of Mars combining collaboratively with the structural energies of Saturn, that can be very positive. Now, as this week begins, we also have Mercury in a terrific angle with Uranus across the first 3 days. Mercury already in the sign of Capricorn, dazzling in the electric link with Uranus, asks us to be very open-minded about how we deploy our resources. Anything to do with business decisions as well. The more innovative we are, the better it can be. Remember, the full moon from last week is still very, very potent this week. And that's basically saying to us that we need to use our language carefully. The everyday communications of the moon in Gemini competing with the more expansive energies of the sun in Sagittarius. So choosing our words carefully this week continues to be a theme. If we're traveling anywhere, important to check out things carefully. But Jupiter was very supportive to that particular lunation. So I think there can be some uplift from that feeds into this week. But by Friday, by Christmas Eve, we do have the square between Saturn and Uranus repeating itself exactly for the third time this year. But you know, the truth is, within a few degrees, they've actually been agitating at one another pretty well since about the second week of January. But this just reminds us that the liberty that Uranus wants us to have has to be balanced against the responsibilities that Saturn wants us to show. So there could be something that is stopping us being quite as free as we would like on Christmas Eve. And then on Christmas Day, we have the second of two conjunctions between Venus and Pluto. The first was on the 11th of December, and of course last week Venus went into its retrograde. Now this could bring about some real lovely sentimental connections, perhaps to people from our past. Perhaps we can really appreciate how fortunate we are to have the folks in our life that we have had. But if you're in a relationship where there is quite a lot of leverage around money or even intimacy, Venus's combination with Pluto can make us much more conscious of the power balance that's going on Christmas Day as well. Can you believe it? So that's a potentially tricky one, but definitely an opportunity to celebrate the stability of the relationships that do work well for us. And if you're not in a relationship, or even spending this Christmas time alone, which I have experienced myself, and it's not easy, what I would say to you is this does give you an opportunity to think very profoundly about what you would like going into next year, future forward. But I am now going to share with you each of the 12 zodiac signs in detail. But just before I do, remember, if you'd like to sign up for your free daily horoscope, written horoscope, direct to your device each morning, please see the link beneath this video. Also, if you'd like to get your year 2022 personal forecast, you can do so and get your character analysis as well. You will get the full 12 months from the time of the order to the end of next year. If you order in January, you will get 12 months from that point, but 30% off too. Hello Virgo, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for week commencing the 20th of December. Now, your Christmas week is going to be lit up by the fact that the sun arrives on Tuesday on the back of the winter solstice into the most self-expressive and playful part of your situation. But last week's full moon was emphasising the home part of your situation and family strands and anything to do with a sense of security. So if those things are good for you, that provides the platform for you to embrace this more outgoing energy from the sun. Now, your ruler Mercury on Monday and Tuesday forges a brilliant link to Uranus, and Uranus continues in a very adventurous part of your situation, so you may want to change things up a little bit. Perhaps you're just really getting a sense of excitement as the week really starts to pick up traction. Now, of course, this is a time when Venus and Pluto are very close together, but for you in the 5th house, this is about as romantic as it gets. And if you're fortunate enough to be in a relationship where there is a wonderful connection between you and your partner, you can really appreciate it at this time. If you're single, this can give you a yearning for the type of person you'd really like, but do be optimistic about what next year brings for you. There's going to be a lot of extra communication buzzing around your situation in 22, which is going to be really positive. But on Christmas Eve, we do have that clash between Saturn and Uranus. This is the 3rd of the year, it's exact, and for you, this can create a little bit of stress if you're trying to do too much, trying to spin too many of those proverbial plates, because one or two may get broken. So you can be very dutiful, but if other people are prepared to take a little bit of the strain, or you can go to someone else for some part of the holiday, if that's possible, then do give yourself permission to do this, because Saturn's in your sector of obligations, and it's a rare Virgo that isn't a very obliging person. But because Uranus is really emphasising freedom, if you do feel resentful about those obligations, you're not going to enjoy. We all know that Christmas is about giving, it's not just about getting, so you'll be prepared to do your bit. But I think really this is a week where you want to have some fun. Now, Mars, the planet of drive, does continue in your 4th house. So, this is going to give you the extra stamina to cope with the stresses and strains of this week. And it is forging actually a very positive link to Saturn in the last couple of days. So your natural attention to detail can be a blessing. And then on Christmas Day, Venus and Pluto come back into an exact conjunction. What I would say in a more challenging way is that Venus retrograde in a conjunction with Pluto can highlight relationships that have some kind of leverage attached to them. Now, it may not be in a romantic context. It may be someone that you're friendly with, a social situation, even your kids if you have them. And it's important not to be guilted by anyone around anything that's really important to you. But generally speaking, this is a really positive horoscope for your Christmas week. I hope you have a lovely time, and goodbye for now.